Hello again. When we consider the modern world, it's fairly obvious that almost every good and useful thing we observe has been the product of European ingenuity. From calculus to parliamentary democracy, jet planes to blood transfusions, cameras and computers to the theory of evolution and quantum mechanics, civilization and all the ideas underpinning it have been the work of white people of European ancestry. True, there have been a few useful things from Asia, and even South America provided us with chocolate. But from Africa, nothing at all worthwhile has come in the course of the last 1,000 years. I mentioned this a couple of years ago and invited anybody to contradict me. One African guy who runs a YouTube channel did so and suggested that rice and soap had been invented in Africa and exported to the rest of the world, together with a method of using tree branches to make crude domes in buildings made of mud. But all these claims are false. I give a link in the description to this video to the fellow who believes that soap was invented in Africa and that a clever way of supporting roofs made of mud has been useful to the rest of the world. Seriously, though, the situation is that in the last 1,000 years, the world has been fashioned by white people of European ancestry, including, of course, the Americans. This is obviously the case, but one seldom or never sees anybody attempting to answer why this should be so. If it were really the case that intelligence was evenly distributed across all ethnic groups, then you might reasonably have expected the modern world to have been shaped by all the races which live in it. Try and imagine, if you will, an alternative universe in which this happened. One where the Inuit people invented television, calculus was devised by those living in the Amazon basin, bicycles first appeared in Australia, jet planes were developed in West Africa, and the indigenous inhabitants of the North American continent first came up with the idea of quantum theory. I do not say that this would not have been a better world, or one which is more just and equitable, but it is not, of course, the real world. In the real world, all those things were dreamed up by white men. I invite viewers to suggest reasons as to why this might have been the case. That it was the case is indisputable, but I'm asking people to set out possible reasons for what has been seen over the last 1,000 years. In other words, why do they think that Africans and Australians did not invent the sewing machine or typewriter, or the space rocket or steam engine? The excitable and inarticulate chap in the video to which I provide a link feels that rice and soap are African inventions, although most of us would be dubious about that. Certainly rice was cultivated in Africa thousands of years ago, but so too was it being grown in Asia. Soap wasn't really invented in Africa, even soap with antiseptic properties. The truth is, no inventions have emerged from Africa in 1,000 years, while European inventions, both mechanical ones like bicycles and steam trains, as well as intellectual achievements such as calculus and the idea of the origin of the universe, have all been the product of white people. Why is that?